I definitely want to see how this one goes for you, Eugene.
Hey guys, it's Dan, your host of Eugene's Reviews, and today I'm back for another Walking Dead video for today. We are here to do our weekly review for this week's episode of the final episodes of The Walking Dead. This is my review for episode 19, titled Variants.
Alright guys, this one's going to be doing a review of today. This one's going to be doing a review for The Walking Dead. And in today's video, we're going to be doing our weekly review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead Season 11. This is for episode 19, titled Variants. So, weekly review for this week's episode of The Walking Dead. I'll make sure to let you all know. This review will contain spoilers, so if you have not watched the episode yet, go ahead and watch it, and then come on back and watch this review. So, this was an awesome episode of The Walking Dead Season 11. 11C continues to impress me as the episodes continue. Now, we do have a few storylines to cover for this episode, so let's just jump straight into it. Now, we saw a lot of the Commonwealth, more than I thought we would see, to be honest. Aaron and Lydia and Jerry and Elijah's plot was actually a lot more minor than I thought it would be. I mean, it was a good portion of the episode, but most of it, I would say, was at the Commonwealth, which I think had some really interesting stuff going on. So, we literally pick up right after the end of the last episode with the death of Sebastian, and we see Daryl try to protect Eugene. So, they basically bring Eugene into hiding while Pamela's trying to find him and, arrest him and stuff like that. Now, Pamela kind of puts Mercer on this job to go find Eugene and bring him to her, right? So while Mercer's out doing this, he ends up kind of questioning some of our survivors, like Rosita and, a few others. And Rosita kind of looks at Mercer and she's kind of just like, look, like, stop acting like you don't know me. Stop acting like, you've never met me before. We're friends. You literally told me you had my back. Why are you, kind of acting like this? But I can also understand the opposite side as well, too, because Mercer has a job to do. He can't just break character and join our characters, because at that point, Mercer would be a dead man, too. So he kind of has to stay in this zone of like, okay, I got to do what the Pamela is asking me to do, what the Commonwealth is requiring of me, and if I don't do it, if I don't act, this severe, then I'm going to lose everything, right? So that's kind of what he's thinking. But Rosita's just like, dude, like, come on, man. Like, I didn't do it. You clearly know I didn't, but he still had to go through the process with everybody. Apparently, he interviewed Daryl as well, too. We didn't see that, but apparently he asked him questions, too. So, yeah, crazy stuff. So while that's going on, you've got Eugene who's in hiding. And Eugene, through a lot of this episode, is stuck in this church. But the one thought that's kind of keeping him going is Max, because he can't let himself just stay in here while Max is out there in jeopardy. So he wants to go outside. He wants to just go out there. Yeah, sure, he'll get arrested, but at least that means protecting Max and making sure she's safe. He is going to take the fall for this, and that's what he wants to do. And I love it, too. This is one of my favorite freaking scenes of the episode, where you got Daryl like, you're not going, and then Eugene's like, okay, rolls up his sleeves, right? He's like, okay, let's go. What the frig do you think you're gonna do? It's Daryl, for God's sakes. Like, I don't know why. That scene friggin' killed me. So, anyway, he's got the fists ready to go, and Daryl's like, he's like, I'll move, like, sure, because you're not going. So, yeah, you can go on and get past me, but you're not moving. So, yeah, that scene, I don't know why. It was a lot more funny than probably most people took it. For me, I don't know what it was. Just Eugene thinking to fight Daryl. I'm like, come on, dude. So, that was freaking awesome. But, anyway, you've got Princess in this episode, right? She kind of talks to Mercer, realizes that he is very much just Commonwealth trooper all the way this episode, and she decides, yeah, I'm leaving too. She talks to Ezekiel. Ezekiel's still stuck on this whole, I want to live here for the rest of my life type of thing. So Princess decides, yeah, she's going to leave with Daryl, Carol, and the others. She's going to leave with everybody else, and, that's going to be it. She knows how much Eugene is a good person. She knows that Eugene's a good guy, and if it comes down to it, yeah, she's going to choose Eugene over Mercer. And, I think that is really good. And it shows Princess's loyalty to our group, And I still want a scene between Princess and Negan. I haven't forgotten about that. I want a scene between those two. And speaking of, Princess tells a really interesting story to Mercer as he's begging her not to go, but she talks about her parents and how, she just kind of, stood by and let it happen. And she told this story about when, her stepbrothers were like locking her in this closet, but they continued to remind her back then, yeah, but think about how good you have it. You have, running water and a roof over your head and whatever, and sometimes that's all you can think about, and ignore the bad that's really going on. But Princess can't do that anymore, and she realizes that it's time for her to go. So I completely support that decision. And might I just add, it was damn good seeing the pink jacket again. That is her signature look, and I absolutely love it. So that was really good. She obviously leaves, and, let's just talk about this now. Lance, in this episode, we don't see much of him, but we do see him briefly, and Pamela actually puts his life on the line in this one. She tells him, I'm going to flip the coin of yours. She literally uses his coin and says, you know what? You pick it, and then that'll determine whether you live or you survive. And he picks the right one. He survives, but he now has to deal with zombified Sebastian. And I believe I did see that they also killed Roman in this episode, which I'm like, thank God. I could not stand him. He was freaking annoying. Same with Shira. So thank you for that. That's the one time I thank Pamela. And at least I believe I saw Roman. It was really quick, but please tell me I saw Roman, because I'm damn sure I did. That he was dead and he was, he's been killed at this point, right? So anyway, now let's talk about the ending. Eugene ends up turning himself in to save Max's life, right? And the others are going to get out, and Eugene has been arrested. So there you go. That's what he does. That's how things wrap up. And at the end of the episode, we saw a really interesting scene with Rosita as she's ready to go. And they kind of end the episode on a cliffhanger where Rosita gets ganked by these two goons that I believe, I'm going to assume so at least, are working for Lance. And they literally like knock her down and like tie her up and put a blindfold on her, and that's it. That's how the episode ends. So she held her own, but they unfortunately were able to overpower her. But man, this was a really kind of just emotional episode for Rosita and Eugene. And I think they will see each other again. I don't think that's it for Rosita and Eugene. But it was definitely a very big Eugene and Rosita focused episode, I would say, which was really, really good. Now, let's talk about the other plot in this episode, the variants, right? So one of the things that I did want to see in this episode that I'm kind of sad that we didn't see is Oceanside. I am getting a little impatient with Oceanside up to this point, just because as much as I don't care about that group, I don't think they're that intriguing, I still think that Oceanside should definitely be answered to us by this point. So hopefully we get an answer to that soon. I don't even think episode 20 we're going to get that, guys. It might actually be a little while longer, so I don't know. Walking Dead only has 5 episodes left, so they better hurry up, right? So one of the things that we see with this kind of these 4 characters, this group in this one, is the relationship between Elijah and Lydia. And Lydia still doesn't really want to be with Elijah because she feels like she's betraying Henry. And even to a point where they almost kind of kiss in this one, then it's like, maybe not so much. Now, they kind of stay at this place overnight, which is like this like makeshift castle type location. It's like this like camp or something, which visually I thought was pretty interesting. And you've got a really good conversation while Aaron and Lydia are on watch. And he kind of talks about Eric a little bit, which I thought was really good, and how close he got with him, and how long it took for him to, kind of finally say yes to Eric, even in general. So, yeah, it was really, really cool to hear about Eric again from Aaron, and he still obviously misses him all the way to the, to this day. And yeah, you can definitely tell just listening to him, kind of talk about this, that he misses Eric for sure. So, kind of reassures her some stuff, and well, then we get the variant stuff. Now, there was only one variant walker in this episode from what I could tell. They basically break into this camp in the middle of the night. Everybody wakes up, and you get this huge fight that kind of ensues. They end up fighting them, and they end up getting on top of this roof, right? They kind of have to, like, hold the door because the zombies are, like, kind of trying to open up the door. And you get a pretty close call in this episode for Jerry as he kind of hurts his leg. And they're trying to kind of kill some of the dead, and Jerry's on the top of the roof. And you got the one zombie that is, I would say, like, the advanced one, who picks up a rock, which that's callback of the week right there. A zombie picks up a rock, just like Season 1, Episode 2 of The Walking Dead, and is about to kill Jerry until Aaron and them step in. And Aaron is so convinced, right? He's like, oh, obviously that's a whisper. They would pick up a rock, whatever. and he tears off the mask, but he tears off its face. And that's when he's like, that was a walker? What? Like, that's insane. And Jerry, same reaction, like, how did a walker do that? And you see, like, the look on Aaron's face. He's like, what the hell is this? So we get a slow introduction to the variants, a lot less than I thought we would, but what we got was amazing. I loved it. I thought it was amazing. So, they're on the road again, on their way to Oceanside, and now we know that variant walkers are out there. We experienced one, so we'll see how many more we get, but should be interesting nevertheless. And that is basically where the episode kind of comes to an end, right? You got like a few jokes in there, like, you know, this place could have been like a place for King Ezekiel, and then they kind of joke at the end, like, oh, maybe this place could have been one for King Jerry and Queen Nabila, or stuff like that. You know, just a few kind of jokes here and there. And that's basically the episode, guys. So I really enjoyed this one. I thought it was a really solid episode of The Walking Dead. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10. I really had fun with this episode. I thought it was really dang good. I think the only thing that maybe my minor nitpicks with this one would be, I think we could have definitely seen a bit more with the variants. I think we could have seen a bit more of an impact there. But aside from that, I think they did a really good job with this episode, and I really enjoyed everything in the episode, so it was really good. So anyway, if you're new to the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button so you don't miss any other videos of The Walking Dead. Make sure to follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys, for more videos like this one. If you like this video and you like what you see, make sure to subscribe. And of course, follow me on Dan's The Walking Dead Reviews on Instagram, guys. And of course, I'll see you guys really soon for more Walking Dead videos. Enjoy the rest of your day, guys, and peace out.
I've heard stories. Walkers that can climb walls and open doors. I was never sure if they were just stories.